I was trying to stay in the car when he was tapping on the car with the gun. Before you knew it, I'm opening the door, and immediately fight mode turns on. I start to size him up, look at what's going on, and realize, I can take him.
This event is more than news. It's a warning. The days are growing darker, but God is still raising up bold men like Pastor Moles, this bishop, who won't cower to evil. Welcome to the John Amanchukwu Show, my friends. Listen, do me a big favor and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and never forget that there is no rhythm like the algorithm. This episode, we will take a look at what happens when a criminal takes a gun and tries to hijack a car and rob a pastor. How are you going to rob a man of God? Now, I'll tell you what, the Lord spared this preacher and his wife. You know, there's a song we used to sing in the church. We used to say, all night, all day, angels keep watch over me. Let me tell you something. God's ministering angels protected this preacher, and I'm glad to see it. Take a look at this.
I was trying to stay in the car when he was tapping on the car with the gun. Before you knew it, I'm opening the door, and immediately fight mode turns on. I start to size him up, look at what's going on, and realize, I can take him. And I knew then I have to decide quickly, what are you going to do? Are you going to get the gun, risk him? He's had a point at my chest. I didn't want to get shot. But before I knew it, we went Bridgeport and just fought for our life. Basically, he had no idea what was going on. But let's be clear, I am in no way a hero. I'm a miracle. I'm glad the Lord covered my life and kept me. But a couple of taps to that chin, wrestled the gun out. Before you know it, I'm talking junk to him. Don't run now. Right. Don't run now. Tackle him to the ground. And I realized this is not a regular man I'm fighting. This is someone young.
That's a travesty, man. Young man taps on the window trying to rob this preacher and his wife. Take his car, take his watch, take his wallet. Just a thug, just another thug loose, running wild in the streets. Such a sad shame. You know, this is Bishop-elect Kenneth Moles Jr., the gentleman, the pastor who is being robbed. This took place not too long ago, and it was in the Baltimore, Maryland area. And I've been to Baltimore, and I'll be the first to tell you that Baltimore is corrupt. What's sad is when I went to Baltimore to speak at a school board meeting, they called a citywide emergency on me, on one man for speaking up at their school board meeting. And it was the cops who did it. But now we have people just running the streets, tapping on windows, robbing people. And where were the cops then? It makes no sense. So this teenage gunman approached Bishop Moles and his wife while they sat in her Audi A6. The teen pulled a 9mm Glock and demanded the car. Moles, a preacher, but also a former athlete, got out, disarmed him, and chased him, as you saw in this video. And let me tell you something, Christians and preachers and pastors, listen, it's good to stay in shape. You want to be in position where God can use your hands and your hands to war and your fingers to fight, where God can grace you to be able to disarm a person, but you're not going to be able to do that if you're 400 pounds and can barely run and or move. The hand of God anointed this preacher to be able to fight off, but the preacher gave God something to work with in the moment. So Bishop Moles tackled him, as he said, pinned him down, gave him a few taps to the chin. And he immediately found out that, man, this is a young boy, a young kid that's doing this. Man, we really need help in society. See, society is in moral decline. And biblical prophecy speaks to this. See, with this cultural breakdown that we have, youth are increasingly violent, lost, and hopeless. Fatherlessness, broken families, and moral relativism have raised a generation that lacks fear of consequences or of God. Once sacred institutions like the family, the church, and police are now mocked or weakened. Biblical prophecy is being fulfilled. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verses 1-3 says, "But mark this, there will be terrible times in the last days. People will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, without self-control, brutal, and not lovers of the good." That's what we just saw in this video. Matthew 24, verse 12 says this, "Because the lawlessness will be increased, the love of many will grow cold." Isaiah 5:20 says, "Woe to those who call evil good and good evil." These aren't isolated crimes. They're symptoms of a spiritual epidemic. This is the price, my friends, of progressive policies. Soft on crime leadership has normalized violent behavior and emboldened criminals. Cities like Baltimore are failing to protect law-abiding citizens, especially families and clergy. Defund the police rhetoric and critical race theory, replace discipline and respect with victimhood and excuses. Young men are being told they're oppressed, not held accountable. Moral responsibility is gone. And so all of this stuff is a major stew. It's a crock pot of just filth that's boiling over and is spilling out into the streets. Churches must rise again to train warriors of faith, not pacified pew sitters. This event is more than news. It's a warning. The days are growing darker, but God is still raising up bold men like Pastor Moles, this bishop, who won't cower to evil. Prepare, pray, and whatever you do, protect your home. Why? Because the hour is late. Let's continue to pray for this bishop and pray for people all across this nation who are dealing with unjust laws and the failure of many urban cities where leadership won't do their job. Let me know what you think below in the comment section. Am I right or am I wrong? Am I weak or am I strong? God bless you, my friends, and God bless America.